Well, when you get your new Kamale Ngoni out of the box, it would look something like this. The strings have been taken off the bridge is removed, and the leather thong holding the handles is also removed. The strings have two pieces of packing, cardboard packing, which is actually separating them left and right, and they're still under a bit of tension. Now I'm going to show you how to restring the instrument up correctly and get it tuned up ready to play. Okay, just before we start stringing up, just make sure you grab the neck around here and the back of the gourd and just pull the two together so that neck is firmly up against the back of the gourd. It can just freely move backwards and forwards there. You need to make sure it's hard up against the back. Alright, first of all, we note the bridge is attached by a tether. This helps locate the bridge and stops it from tipping forward. Now on here there's a green bead, which is the front. Now if we get the bridge and we place it sideways and we put it between the two pieces of packing cardboard, like this, we can then twist it, lift the strings up a little bit and twist it under the strings so the foot of the bridge is now under the strings, like that. And the bridge is now sitting in the middle of the Ngoni and is also reasonably vertical. Now if we go down the left hand side, we can go to the furthest away string on the furthest tuning peg. And if we bring in 2 fingers under the string and put our thumb on top, we can actually lift the string into place and slide it into the top groove. Then the same on the other side, get the second furthest string, or the furthest on that side, 2 fingers under the string, thumb on top, slide it into the top groove. And string up the 2 top strings. If you're finding these too hard to lift into place, you can always back off the tuning pegs and make them looser. They are under full tension. They haven't been backed off at all since it was tuned. Anyway, take the next, the second furthest string on this side. Same thing, 2 fingers underneath, thumb on top. Then go to this side, second furthest string, thumb underneath, fingers on top. Well, we've got 4 strings, we'll do 1 more each side. 2 fingers underneath, again, string that one up. Now we have half the strings up at 6 strings. Now, before we go any further, we're getting a lot of tension down on the gourd now. Now to compensate this tension, we now need to fit the thong to the handles. Now to do this, it can take 2 people, but what we've got to do, we've got the thong has a piece of leather stitching on the bottom. That goes in the middle on the bottom. If we put it underneath it, let's hook it onto the end of one handle. We push the handle all the way down to a level with the neck, then push the other handle down, slide the thong over the other handle, move the thong about 10 millimeters in from the end, and there's our handles fitted. You can see we've got a little bit of overlap there. Just put that leather so it fully overlaps. Underneath we should look something like this. There you go, there we should be just off that tuning peg. Right, also make sure that the neck is pushed right back into the gourd. We're just double checking this now, because if it's not all the way back, it won't be positioned correctly as we string the rest of the strings up. Right, now we've got the tension on the handles. We're now compensating for the pressure on the bridge, and we can continue to string up. So we go back to the left side again, we get the next string in line, and we'll pull that one up and just continue with all the rest of the strings until we've got all the strings strung up. Going from side to side, nice and even. Take the piece of padding out. There we go. Now just check the bridge is square. We're a little bit off square there. And underneath these 2 pieces of wood go underneath. We've got to make sure the bridge is sitting nice and square in the centre of those 2 pieces of wood. And roughly in the centre between these 2, and we can look at it this way and make sure that we're vertical. So there I can see we're actually leaning back a little bit. I just pull the bottom of the bridge back a little bit so it's quite vertical. Now the next thing to look at is on the rear here. All the nylons should be in order, one after the other. And we can see that the bridge nylon here, this one here, is overlapping. You've got to actually get that in the middle. So what you've got to do is pull back on the bridge a little bit, just take the tension off it, and then hook that with your fingernail, hook that nylon into the middle so it's between the other strings. Like that. So now they're all sitting in nice order on the back screw there. Okay, it's just about done. Now we've got to go forward before we tune up and check the tuning pegs that the nylon is coming off the bottom of the reel. So when they're wound on the peg, the nylon winds downwards, and it's very important that it hasn't jumped over, so it's a nice coil going down and coming off the bottom of the coil. Having checked all those are correct, we can then go and tune up. Alright, we're ready to tune up. Just a quick note on the tensioning. Once the bridge is tensioned and the handles are tensioned down, everything is working against the other one, so it's balancing it off. Never leave the bridge with all the strings tensioned and not have the handles with the thong attached pulled down, and never leave the thong on the handles and have the strings off the bridge. Right, I'm going to use a little snark vibration tuner, which we can just clip on the end here. Turn on. Now we start with an A. You'll know the tuning. I'll give you this card, goes with the Ngoni, which has the tuning on it. Looking from the rear of the bridge, so we look on the rear here. Left hand top string is the A. Just be sure that you can hear that tone and make sure you're on the correct A. Right, so we'll look at the A and we'll just tweak that one up. So to start at the top at the lowest strings, go left to right, slowly work your way down. A, C, B, Once you've gone all the way through, you'll find more tension will come up and everything will bow and stretch a bit more. So you'll have to go back to the start and do it again, and you just keep going over and over, pulling those notes up until they're all the same, all on the right notes, I mean. When you first set up your Ngoni, the tuning will move fairly quickly as everything stretches, and it'll take probably 2 weeks before it slowly levels out, and then it won't move much at all. That's not bad now. Make sure you do not over-tune the Ngoni. If you apply too much tension to the strings, you will break something. Okay, that's about it. It's ready to go. I'll strip it down and put it in the box.